what does the attention economy look like, and how is it changing everything that we're doing? And there's no doubt about the fact that the amount of time that people are spending on screens is drastically shifting. Whether they're spending more time, which I believe they are, but even if they're not, they're spending more time like darting from one screen to the next screen. Like they did these eye tracking studies around like what people were doing when watching commercials or TV shows or whatever it was, and they were just constantly switching to and from their phone or to an iPad or to a laptop. Like they were looking at multiple screens at the exact same time, and I get it because I'm one of those people. Yeah. So there's we're in a culture where how we relate to other people is found through a device. It's found through this kind of superficial, artificial connection. And at the same time, there's something beautiful about what live allows us to do that changes that and can kind of bring the humanity back. Like my ultimate goal is to have like a little call system here with, I don't know, a HomePod or whatever it is, and be able to literally take in calls.
Already on to the next idea. We just figured out this one, and he's already on it. It's going to add another like 30 minutes of troubleshooting for us to get going live. But I respect that outlook. And yeah, I mean, with all that information and with all that access, there has to be a level of discernment, I think, for the people that are consuming it. And that's like been the big topics that I've been on recently, and that's what I've been telling people is that to take control of those algorithms, to take control of where your attention is being brought in. Who are you supporting through the content that you're consuming? And that atmosphere is that we are what's the extension of like a robot? Or like we have like these
transhumanism of sorts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we already have those tools. We have the cell phones that can research anything within a matter of seconds. So using those to our benefits and deciding on what we're consuming, who we're following, who we're supporting. Both that's a vote, not just a vote when it comes to the polls every 4 years, whatever it may be.
Vote every
not
day.
Just a vote even when it comes to a dollar where you spend it, but a vote within your attention, because we're living in an attention economy, and whoever has the attention has like a certain amount of ability to push a message forward. And if you're giving, even if you're not totally resonating with that message, which Trump does so well, then you're giving that person power.
Yeah.
Giving somebody that full attention. So doing an analysis on where we are putting our attention whenever there's so many different information pieces coming in so many different directions. And if we take a look, I mean, my phone's being used for the recording of this right now, but if we were to look at how often we pick up our phone, we were doing this the other day. It's ridiculous. God, hundreds of times each day picking it up.
Like whoop, 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 whoop. And you and I geek out so much on the attention economy and how it's changing. I even shared a link with you yesterday around what are the click-through rates on what kind of videos, and which videos get the most engagement and which videos get the most reach, and whether or not they're vertical or horizontal or square or whatever it is, like the different formats and all the different things that go with that, right? Does live get more engagement than non-live? And the answer is yes, it does, right? It's less popular than it was at one moment because the juice of the algorithm is constantly changing. But when you pay attention to that, and people's businesses live and breathe on that, we're in a very different marketplace. And I think that a lot of people that you and I know depend 100% on what happens on these platforms, right? I mean,
whole business is being built on.
I mean, even elections, right? If you think about like the whole Russia, Donald Trump, and beyond even just whether another country meddled in the elections or not, one thing's for sure, Cambridge Analytica was a massive resource for polling data, for data around targeting specific people to get out to the polls in specific states that wins the electoral college. We are now in a new era. And, we were talking about this earlier. We were talking about like how buildings, like the technology of physically building something is incredibly advanced, right? It's really remarkable that we could build like these walls and they could stand for hundreds of years or whatever. And most modern construction is not doing that today. But the idea is that it's incredible that we can make bricks. Like if you had to ask me to make a brick right now, it would be a very big problem. I wouldn't know how to do it. But that's because there's generations of processes upon processes and technology upon technology and minds upon minds that have led to that being a possibility. But we are in the complete infancy of the internet and all the technology that comes with that. We've never dealt with something this powerful and this connective and this that can ripple through the entire system in the same way. Yes, radio changed the game. Yes, TV changed the game, but not in the same way that it empowered every one of us to have a voice. Now, not forgetting the people who don't have access to the internet. I know that those people exist, but for the most part, more and more of these people are coming online, and this is becoming democratized further and further. And the most democratic thing that we have on the planet, right, beyond any other metric that you want to look at, is time. Right? At the end of the day, you have 24 hours, I have 24 hours. Wherever I live in the world, we have the same amount of time. So what we do with our attention, and what we are able to do with our attention is the metric of privilege, if you will. But what we do with our attention matters more now than ever before.